Welcome to the Deconditioning Lab podcast, where we experiment with deconditioning in human design. I'm Nicole G., psychologist and human design guide, and if you've ever understood your human design chart intellectually and still felt stuck living it, you're in the right place. Welcome to the show. When most people first discover human design, they usually fall in love with the details that they find in their chart: their type, their strategy, authority, profile, centers, gates, and channels, because it's fascinating to see the human design system reflect you back to yourself, to finally have language about yourself for what you've always sensed. The mind loves human design because it explains what you feel, but the experiment itself isn't meant to be lived in your mind. It's meant to be lived in your body in each moment, each breath, and each choice that you make. That's the first reason why deconditioning matters so much, is that deconditioning is the bridge between understanding your human design chart on a mental level and becoming your human design chart on an embodiment level. When you decondition, human design stops being something that you study or learn and starts becoming something that you live. Your chart then shifts from theories that live in your mind to rhythms that live in your body. You stop forcing things as much. You begin spending more time in your authentic flow, where invitations, responses, and clarity are able to arrive more frequently because your system has quieted down enough to actually receive them. As you decondition, you begin to recognize conditioning as you see it happening, not with judgment, but with awareness. And so the pause between a stimulus and your response or your reactions widens. You begin to trust yourself more. You trust your strategy and authority more, not because someone told you to, but because you have felt the cost of ignoring them and the relief of honoring them. Second, human design doesn't truly start working until you begin to decondition. Your chart is accurate, but it can't function properly if it's being filtered through an old identity shaped by your survival patterns, people pleasing, or fear. Your human design chart is a map of who you are beneath the layers of learned behavior, social roles, and survival mechanisms. But if you try to interpret that map while still wearing the glasses of your conditioning, everything will look distorted, where you only see the person you had to become to survive or to gain love and approval. And most of us approach human design, at least initially, from the place that our conditioning was formed. But your chart isn't asking you to construct a whole entire new identity. It's simply asking you to remember your true identity that exists beneath all of the noise. When survival patterns are still running the show in your life, such as perfectionism, people-pleasing, or hypervigilance, your human design chart can quietly feel like another set of rules to follow, where the system that was meant to free you just turns into a more subtle self-improvement cage. For example, a projector may understand that they are designed to wait for the invitation. Yet if their worth still feels tied to proving their value, their push for recognition will override this timing. A generator might know that they're designed to respond. Yet, if they still believe underneath it all that being productive keeps them safe, they will initiate from that sense of pressure rather than joy. And in both cases, the old operating system is still running the show. There's also a definite cost to staying conditioned. When you don't decondition, your life can begin to feel like more effort than it needs to be. You might wake up feeling like you're already behind because your conditioning is dictating that you measure yourself against invisible standards that were never actually yours to begin with. You might say yes when your body says no, and then find yourself on the downward slope of burnout. You might hold tension throughout your body, more confusion in your mind than you need to, and more exhaustion in your bones than is necessary. Emotionally, conditioning can create a disconnect between what you feel and what you express. You might learn to shape yourself to standards that feel safe, but that might not be true to you. You might force yourself to stay calm, capable, and agreeable, while something more honest may be stirring inside of you. This dissonance can lead to anxiety, resentment, or numbness, not because anything is wrong with you, but because your system is just tired of pretending. In your relationships, conditioning can keep you orbiting around other people instead of being rooted in yourself. You might attract relationships that reinforce old patterns of overgiving, trying to earn approval from others, or taking care of others at the expense of taking care of yourself, all because they mirror your learned identity. Boundaries can also get blurred, and communication can become more about managing feelings and less about finding deep connection with other people. Energetically, conditioning can also block your natural flow. Your design is meant to operate with efficiency, and when conditioning is in charge, this can drain your energy. You might push toward things when you're meant to wait, speak when you're meant to listen, and rush when stillness would have brought resolution a whole lot faster. Over time, this can create burnout, confusion, and emotional fatigue, where the true cost of staying conditioned isn't just misalignment with yourself, it's self abandonment, where you may have forgotten what it feels like to be guided from within yourself. Next up is my step-by-step deconditioning framework, which I created to answer the common question, I know what deconditioning is, but how do I actually do it? And why you might not actually need a deconditioning framework at all. Hey, if you enjoyed the show, don't forget to head over to the Deconditioning Lab on Substack. Link is in the show notes. And follow the show so you can get notified when I drop a new episode. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you again soon.